This is KGW News at noon.
Hurricane Ian is heading towards Florida. This is a live picture from Key West. All day we have watched those crashing waves, and people have been coming in and out, taking selfies, getting risky with their safety, despite warnings to take shelter or evacuate. Hello everyone, I'm Brenda Braxton. Hurricane Ian is a Category 3 right now with 115-mile-an-hour winds as it churns toward Tampa Bay. A look at the radar shows how big this is. We can see the eye of the storm move across the western tip of Cuba, west of Havana. Cuban authorities evacuated 50,000 people as the wind picked up this morning. And the National Hurricane Center reports that a 14-foot storm surge hit part of the island. Meteorologist Rod Hill is also tracking Ian today. Rod, it's forecast to get even stronger tonight.
Yeah, so that storm, it was over the western part of Cuba with 125-mile-per-hour sustained winds. The imagery really picks up the eye of the storm really clearly right here. So here's Cuba. It's now left the island in terms of the eye, but it is now re-strengthening. It got that knocked down to 115. And now the latest report has it back up to 120 miles per hour. And the Hurricane Center believes this will later today into tonight continue to strengthen into a Category 4 storm. At one point, they think the winds could be as strong as 140 miles per hour. So the track, this would be 8 o'clock tomorrow evening East Coast time, Wednesday evening East Coast time. From the Hurricane Center, they think the best bet is that the center of the storm hits landfall just south of the Tampa Bay area. And the track is now showing a great deal of uncertainty in terms of, from this point, does the storm go out into the Atlantic, or does the center of what's left of the hurricane hold together as a tropical storm, which means winds would be still close to 50 miles per hour up through the Carolinas. The track this morning has readjusted that more inland. Here's our Futurecast model. This is quicker, but a similar path. It shows the eye south of Tampa Bay as early as tomorrow afternoon at 12:30, and then the heavy rain bands continue. Brenda, the Hurricane Center is still saying 12 to 16 inches of rain across much of that central western Gulf Coast of Florida, with isolated amounts as high as 24 inches of rain. It's simply hard to imagine. Back to you.
It sure is, Rod. Thank you for the update. Now to local news and an update on the deadly shooting in Northwest Portland's Wallace Park last week. Just hours ago, police identified the young victim as 26-year-old Erica Walker Evans. Police are investigating her death as a homicide. She was found in the park around 11 o'clock Friday night. Officers say she died before paramedics could take her to the hospital. So far, no one has been arrested for the crime. Anyone with information should contact Portland police. Erica Evans was one of 2 people who died of gun violence over the weekend. The other victim was killed in Northeast. These homicides come as Mayor Wheeler approves new technology designed to make a difference, but critics say they're skeptical it actually will. Mike Benner has an update on ShotSpotter.
Since the start of the year, there have been more than 960 shootings in Portland. Approximately 59 of those deadly. In fact, just this past weekend, a woman was shot and killed at Wallace Park in Northwest Portland. And 26-year-old Martise Oliver of Washington State was shot and killed outside a hotel near Northeast 82nd in Sandy. Just days before these shootings, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler approved the idea of putting together a pilot proposal for the gunshot detection technology ShotSpotter. ShotSpotter is a system of audio sensors that alert police to where and when shots are fired. The sensors are typically mounted on buildings and light posts in neighborhoods that see a lot of violence. Proponents believe ShotSpotter would help police respond to more shootings, improve response times, and evidence gathering, among other things. Critics, however, say ShotSpotter is incredibly flawed. Here's attorney Kat Mahoney.
Chances are these are going to be set up in neighborhoods that are already heavily policed or already have stereotypes of being crime heavy. And it's going to be over policing and probably perpetuate the biases that already exist among Black and brown communities.
I wouldn't call it over policing. I would say that we have been underserved. We're underserved given the number of shooting incidents that are happening in the Black and brown communities.
And that was Ed Williams, chair of the Focused Intervention Team Community Oversight Group, or FITCOG for short. They first recommended this technology to the mayor, who has since approved putting together a pilot proposal. Once that's complete, it'll go to City Council for a vote. They'll have the final say on whether or not we see this technology in Portland on a trial basis. I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
Clark County deputies are searching for whoever vandalized parked cars in Hazel, Dell over the weekend. They smashed car windows or shot them out with BB guns along Northwest Overlook Drive and Hazel Dell Way.
It's not a matter of if we catch them, it's a matter of when, because there's a lot of people in this neighborhood that have been hit. Several people in this neighborhood have cameras on their houses. We have audio, visual, we will catch you.
And the sheriff's office is asking anyone with surveillance video to come forward. KGW rode along with a Portland police sergeant on the front lines of the city's homeless crisis. Matt Jacobson works out of Central Precinct. Every day, he patrols Old Town and interacts with people living on the street.
We hear a lot about, hey, the police should engage in our homeless population because of mental health nexus or whatever it is. Yeah. And I think sometimes those are short-sighted. What we do is so relationship-based with our folks outside that we may be the only cops that they feel comfortable reporting something to.
Reporter Blair Best spoke with Sergeant Jacobson. You can watch her full report on KGW.com and on KGW's YouTube channel. There's a new director in charge of Clark County's newly established Jail Services Department. He's David Shook, a deputy who ran for sheriff in the primary election. This new department will take over jail operations from the sheriff's office. The idea is to free up the sheriff to focus on law enforcement. Larger counties like King and Spokane are already doing this, and they say it's been successful. Right now, the Clark County Jail is dealing with staff shortages and overcrowding. In other headlines today, gas prices are going up again. Take a look at this heat map from Gas Buddy. Anything above $4 a gallon is highlighted in yellow and orange. As you can see, we have some of the highest prices in the country. That's because several West Coast refineries have shut down for maintenance, making supplies here super tight. AAA Oregon expects those prices to go even higher later this fall or winter. Part of the historic Columbia River Highway in the Gorge is closed today for landslide repairs. The stretch from Angel's Rest to Wakena Falls will stay closed until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Landslides damaged the road near Multnomah Falls last year. And finally, Portland police are searching for a man who groped a 15-year-old girl at a bus stop. The assault happened yesterday morning near Southeast Cesar Chavez and Powell Boulevards. The girl screamed, a driver heard her, pulled over, and helped her get away. The attacker was a white man with tan skin, about 5'8", with silver hair and a long gray beard. They say he was wearing all gray clothing and carrying 2 black trash bags.